Okay, we're live on there. And let me read this. Pop, pop, pop. Early morning shots are happening. But we are going to be serious. You know why? Because if you really get this, if you really get tonight's topic, you are going to and again, I'm keeping my fingers crossed because we have some heathens on here too, and we have some good people. But if you get this, you will feel more free. You'll feel more free. So by feeling free, you'll be able to do more. And by doing more, you'll be able to create more change, co-create more change. So the last 2022 focus is for August is becoming free from desire. Today is Sunday, August 28th, 2022. Welcome to another Sunday Bars. And again, our last 2022 August focus is becoming free from desire. All right. So we're going to go right into it. So you think you know, or we think we know. How many times have you ever been wrong about something that you thought you wanted or needed? If you're watching this from or in a capitalistic society, then your so-called desires may have been given to you. If everything is marketing and advertising in a capitalistic society, then it's a 99.9% chance you don't need it, yet you desire it. We have desires. Shout out to all your desires that's been marketed and advertised to you. When you want something or see something you want, say, I have that at the right time. If not, then you will get it too slow, or you will get it too fast, or you will mess around and get it when you were never supposed to get it. Get it? Our desires change according to whichever phase of reality we are currently living in and earned. So our desires change according to whichever phase of reality we're currently living in and earned. Ask a 9-year-old, what do you desire? Now, will that child's desire stay the same when he or she turns 25 years old? And then how will he or she look around 40? How will their desires look around 40? Will it stay the same or will it have changed? Change is the only reality that's destined for us all, no matter what our desires currently are. So remember, the last focus of 2022 of August is becoming free from desire. Now, a clever person would say, well, Jason, isn't desiring to be free of desire a desire? And I say, we are here to experience without attachment or identification. Oh, my haters want to say something. Jason, what are you talking about there? Well, because this reality is not reality, it's impermanent or not permanent. So it can't be reality. And like Jay-Z said, he who does not feel me is not real to me. Therefore, he doesn't exist. So poof, vamoose, son of a bitch. Jay-Z said that. It was fun to restate it, but Jay-Z said that. Now, this reality is your perception or projection of the thoughts and desires crashing into each other and crashing into systems you were born into, especially if you were meant to change those systems. Now, did you know that there are actual people that believe that there's no such thing as universal reality? which is a reality that affects everyone at the same time, at the same ways or similar ways. And I just tell them, okay, go run out in traffic, and if you survive, you tell me how unreal all of this is. So, on a more serious note, what is wrong with having desires? We must be free from the fearful attachment to outcome of desires, not the desire itself. Now remember, becoming free of the fearful attachment. You have fearful attachment to your desires. And the fearful attachment to what? Outcome. The outcomes of your desires, not the desire itself. So the physical world exists. So I'm not denying that fact. But thoughts and desires are not material. So are you controlling your desires, or are they controlling you? The definition of desire is a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. Now, some weak people say, free from desire, we might as well be dead. Desire is what motivates and drives us. It's why we're here in this reality. Now, before I answer that, let me take a look at the definition of free and becoming before I answer that. So the definition of free is not under the control or in the power of another. Able to act to be done as one wishes. Not or no longer confined or imprisoned. Free. Free from desire. Becoming. The process of coming to be something or passing into a state. Becoming. So by becoming free, you will realize that you are all of this any day. You're basically all of this. So by becoming free, you'll realize that you, we're all of this anyways. My haters would say, there you go with all that macro stuff, that macro spirituality, macro mind and macro spirituality. You need not go through experiences to be happy, because your happiness. If you be an empty vessel, so that your God will use forms of reality to flow through you. The trap is we only want to experience what brings us pleasure. I will say that again. The trap is we only want to experience the things which brings us pleasure. Think about it. How many of you really be like, man, I'm about to go, well, I want to go experience pain. You do that when you work out, but you don't say it like from a pleasurable standpoint. So the trap, we only want to experience the things that brings us pleasure. So, and not the divine experiences that our best paths and disciplines with an S grants us, which also includes, but not limited to, the many painful, now again, this is painful, the painful, egoless experiences that gives us a better macro comprehension, understanding, understanding, and overstanding of past, current, and future realities. The mind loves to dilute current moments with anticipation of pleasure. Think about that, how your expectations get let down. Because the mind loves to dilute current moments with anticipation of pleasure, or you could be a hater of yourself, anticipation of suffering and pain. Anticipation of pleasure or anticipation of suffering and pain. In between this mind sandwich, other forms of thinking exist too. Be friendly to that. These are the habits that humans brings about suffering for themselves. So again, these were just some small little habits that many humans, that's how they bring about suffering for themselves. All that suffering we're doing, we're bringing it into ourselves. So whether good or bad, these types of people are always living in a made-up future at present. Whether good or bad, these types of people are always living in a made-up future at present. Now, the desire of experience and the desire of experiencing is the root of desire on this third dimensional world. Don't believe me? Look back over your life and see how every move you made. What kind of, one, anticipation of pleasure, or two, anticipation of suffering and pain was attached to every experience of your past. Go look back. Our addictions to specific outcomes of experience is what traps our minds. I'm addicted to a specific outcome of experience. And if I do not get that specific outcome of experiences, you're going to still breathe and you're going to still walk and you're still going to talk. You just don't want to deal with it during those times. Practice this for a few moments every day. Practice not caring at all about experience. Turn it off and observe or meditate. Experience is not the fuel of the mind. Peace is the fuel of the mind. And when you truly have it, you don't have to share it with everyone. So by not having to give everyone a piece of your mind, but calling it having a peace of mind that surpasses the misunderstandings of unpeaceful people. So when we let go of our addiction to the lesser or what we think is deep, can we wake up the greater or true essence, which is the true essence of things? Since you are the center of your world, or you should be, this allows one to become centered on their squares of truth. That's why authentic public speaking is so important. Because once you change how a person thinks, you can change the way they feel about things. Sadhguru said, desire is not the source of all misery. Unfulfilled desire. So unfulfilled desire is the source of all misery. My desires that I have are unfulfilled. Therefore, I'm miserable. So then he said, desires fulfilled are the sources of our joy. Let's test it out. The desires that I have are fulfilled. I'm happy about it. Okay, that makes sense. So unfulfilled desire is the source of all misery, and desires fulfilled are the sources of our joy. Okay. Desire is never ending, so we will never get rid of it. And there's something inside of us that wants more and more and more and more and more. So if you live in Western culture, then your desires are probably not even yours. I promise you, the desires that's in your body right now, they're not even yours. These desires are reactions to your environment of marketing, advertising, and greed being pushed upon you constantly. Lao Tzu said, he who is content is rich. Many other people say yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So open it up. Open it up with that open mind of yours. Rumi said, life is a balance between holding and letting go. Balance is the crux of life. Everything in life has a perfect balance in it and a perfect harmony in it, except for many humans. The night balances out the day. The good balances out the bad, and so on. Even atoms that are the very building blocks of the physical universe, there exists a positive charge, protons, and a balance of negative charge, electrons. The very act of releasing is powerful. Oh, you talking about letting go of desires and releasing. Okay, I get it. I get it. The very act of releasing is powerful. It leads to healing. It helps recharge your energy and puts things into perspective. Remember, letting go is not the same as giving up. Now, what is the art of flow? Now, I know animals flow all the time and humans flow some of the time. But did you know that Albert Einstein cracked the theory of relativity code the instant he decided to let go? This was after years of persistent work and research. So we must use this power and not our force. I have always witnessed that when I stop caring about a problem, it solves itself in ways I couldn't even imagine. So when you don't want anything, you get everything. And if a person says, I want happiness, watch this. I want happiness. I want happiness. Help me edit this. I like editing. Let's edit that sentence. I want happiness. Let's edit that. So take away the I because that's your ego. Then take away want because that's desire. Now you're left with happiness. Remember, the less you need, the more you have. The main reason why you can't win with desire, now again, I got desire. Hey y'all, we got desire on the team. You can't win with desire because there's no lack to begin with. Desire can block things because it means that you don't have something. Jim Rohn said, learn to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. Now, desire is actually a bottomless pit. That's why you can't win with it. I'm telling you, you can't win with it. No desire, only intentions and doing. There's no need to want. Joe Dispenza said, the anxiety that comes from desires can have you living in survival mode. Now, when the survival gene is activated, out of the infinite potentials in the quantum field, you always choose the worst case scenario. Shout out to survival mode. Humans are the only species that has to pay to live and eat. Yet we're supposed to be the most intelligent. So having all the money in the world co-creates a certain type of survival mode. So all the money in the world, it still co-creates a certain type of survival mode. Having no money also co-creates a certain type of level of survival mode. This new wanting will lead to expectations. And then expectations will lead to longing. And then longing can lead to suffering. Let's go on that journey again. Humans are the only species that has to pay to live and eat. And when we are supposed to be the most intelligent species on this planet. So having all the money in the world co-creates a certain type of survival mode. Having no money in the world also co-creates a certain level of or type of survival mode. Now, that's why I gave you both sides, because no matter, I'm rich, I don't have to hear that, or I don't have any money, you talking to them rich people. No, everybody getting this. So this new wanting will lead to expectations. I expect this, I expect this, I expect. When I hear people like be talking about their expectations, I'll be like, man. Because I know expectations will lead to longing. Like, man, my expectations, man, I'm having longing right now about the expectations that I want done. So this is longing. Shout out to Long's Donuts. And then longing will lead to suffering, or can lead to suffering. That's why I put can. because my cousin or my it can lead to suffering. So if you're not going through it, cool. So let go of your attachment to your desires. Right vision creates right faith. And right faith creates a willpower that is actually more powerful than the little nagging desires that drives most humans crazy. You cannot suffer the past or the future. You can't. Because they don't exist. What you are suffering from is your memory and your imagination. Man, let me get something to drink. Put my memory and my imagination in there. Oh, I'm suffering. Yeah, that's what you're suffering from. Okay? So, the good news is everything that has a beginning has an ending. Man, when it first started, everything that has a beginning has an ending. Man, I remember when it first started happening to me. The good news is everything that has a beginning has an ending. Do your work, then step back is the only way to serenity. Lao Tzu. Your mind is like water. When agitated, it becomes difficult to see. But when you allow it to settle, then the answers become more clear. Oh, I get it, clear and crystal clear and water. Difference. Now this is deep. I really resonate with this. Difference necessarily involves identity. Identity necessarily involves difference. So to even be different and to know I'm different, I have to have an identity. And once I have that identity, I should probably know that I'm different, behave that I'm different, and get different outcomes. So think about this, sit with this, that's a cool little saying. Now, I have a question. Kind of rhetorical, but it still can be answered. Y'all can answer it in the chat. Is attachment to materialism a detachment from spiritualism? I'll ask that again. Is attachment to materialism a detachment from spiritualism? And I have a question that kind of answers it, but I can still play stupid and be like, no, I'm just asking the question. How spiritual are your materialistic friends? How spiritual are your materialistic friends? Now, we have been lied to so bad that we must be committed to unlearn something new every day, just to get back to the vibrational frequencies that work for many of our ancestors. That energy still exists, like muddy water. And did you know that muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone? Everything is a result of manifestation. So desires are cool, but everything is a result of manifestation. So let's build here. How do you build this superpower? Some people say minimalism can also help you let go of your desires. It can also help to speed up your desires being manifested. Minimalism is about owning only what adds value and meaning to your life, as well as the lives of the people you care about, and removing the rest. Bye-bye, gotta go. It's about removing the clutter and using your time and energy for the things that remain. We only have a certain amount of time, energy, and space in our lives. So let's use it wisely. And not use it, watch this, and not use that time like a well-marketed to robot. I've been marketed well to. Where do I buy that? Where do I get 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 that? Now remember, I got that, but remember, you have to say I maintain that. So just imagine bragging about all the stuff that you're maintaining. Jason, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm one of the top 3 religions, and if you don't start saying religious things, then I'm going to tune out because I need to hear religious perspectives of desire. We're getting there. So let's talk about what the higher powers think about watch this, human desires. You little humans. Okay, so what can you do when struggling with desires and you want to go on a higher level? But you're such a little human and you're feeling the constant urge to go after whatever your heart desires, where it consumes your mind, distracting you from other important things in life. Now, what can we do to resist the temptation of our desires, of our heart? It's important to understand that the Most High created us with the desire for wealth, sexual desires, and the desires for best human relations in general. So I want to interact well with humans. That's a desire, right? Everybody should have that. It's not impermissible to love the security that wealth brings. It's not even an easy feeling that you can just get rid of, even if you wanted to. However, God guides us on the ways to manage and to fulfill these desires in a better way that is pleasing to the Most High and in a way that can help you. And all praises will still go back to source. So let's take a quick look at desire in the Bible. Let's look at James 4:2. You desire, but do not have, so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and you fight. But you do not have because you do not ask God. That's James 4:2. Colossians 3:5. Put to death, therefore, whatever belongs to your earthly nature. Sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, and greed, which is idolatry. Colossians 3:5. Now, you don't be doing. The next verse says, everybody is not perfect except for that person that's hating on you. That's Colossians 3:6? No, that's not. I just made it up. Who cares of the stuff that you fall short unless you stop? But if you still trying to get better and you're showing signs of getting better, now you gotta remember, there's a lot of ugly people who would die to deal with lust and sexual things with people because nobody want to sleep with them. So not saying they don't go through that, because they go through other things. So don't let them talk crazy to you and you don't know about their little ugly problems. I'm just playing, but I'm super serious. The bad ugly people. Nice ugly people, I promise you're not ugly because you're nice. Let me stop. But I stand by all that, for real. I put that on everything. 1 John 2:17. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. 1 John 2:17. Do one more. 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Now, this is a verse that I think, I'm making this up, but this is a verse that everybody wants to, and I'm going to be able to tell what it is, and that'll be my way out. Nah, the Lord works in mysterious ways, so you're probably not even looking that way. Now, desires in the Quran, I only picked one because it was so deep. I was just like, shoot, I can do this whole Sunday bars on just this. In the Quran 45:23, it reads, I'll read it first, then I'll read it and explain it. It says, have you seen he who has taken as his God his own desire. And Allah has sent him astray due to knowledge, and has set a seal upon his hearing and his heart, and put over his vision a veil. So who will guide him after Allah? So I just read it through. Now let me explain it. The Quran says, have you seen he who has taken as his God his own desire? So whatever I want, that's the most important thing. Nothing else matters. Who cares? It's what I want. Oh, I had a desire. It's what I want. Oh, I have a desire. It's what I want. That's being promoted to y'all according to a lot of historical texts. That's nothing new, but it's not nothing good. It's not nothing productive. It's not the expedient thing to do. So have you seen he who has taken as his God his own desire? And Allah has sent him astray. So if you can meet a lot of people who, according to these, the surah, Allah sends people astray due to ignorance. No, this says due to knowledge. And according to this, Allah has set a seal upon his hearing. Or it don't even have to be a block. It could be I heard that before. I've done that before. Yeah, everybody keep telling me that. And his heart. And put over his vision a veil. So people could be in the same room with you and not see what you see. And it even said here in the next sentence. So who will guide him after Allah? Kind of like who you think you are to even try to do anything with this person if Allah did that to them. Or did that to him or her. Or them. Or those group of people. Or those group of people in power. I understood that. So let's look at so-called reality is a fleeting enjoyment where we chase the things that we enjoy. But after a time, all these things leave us and the joy comes to an end. It's important to know that there's actually nothing wrong with wanting and desiring. In fact, it's natural and works with the way we have been created. The problem is when we become consumed by it and it begins to have a negative effect on you. And what is the life of this world except fleeting enjoyment? Enjoyment, fleeting enjoyment. That's the casualty in this pursuit of fulfilling desires. We can end up wasting all effort and time on fulfilling these base desires while the actual purpose of life goes unfulfilled. Jason, what about Buddhism? Well, in Buddhism, desire and ignorance lie at the root of suffering. I'll say that again. In Buddhism, we have desire and ignorance lie at the root of suffering. Imagine somebody without desire and ignorance experience suffering. Now, by desire, Buddhists refer to craving, pleasure. Shout out to everybody's social media page. A lot of people, you can see the pleasure people crave. Material goods and immortality. All which are wants that can never be satisfied. As a result, desiring then can become and only bring suffering. So it's kind of like we don't rock with desire with them. Now I'm going to close it here because I did desire to make it that long this time. So thank you for joining me for another Sunday Bars presentation. Looking forward to building with you next time. Let's work. Let's work.